Hey guys, it's Ben. Welcome back to the vlog. It's Tuesday, and I know I'm not here every Tuesday, but I try to be. But I made it this week. It's Tuesday. Can you believe it? I almost forgot. You're going to get a chance to see me not in my PJs today because I almost forgot to do this thing. I was out working in the shop today doing my gardening hobby when I realized, man, I got to go in there and do a vlog. Now let me tell you something, you guys. There's been some misunderstanding about me and this vlog, right? Now listen, when I say that I am no doctor, I am no doctor. The only thing that I do on this vlog, I'm not trying to educate anybody on the drugs that I took or how I managed my side effects or anything like that. I'm not trying to tell you guys how to do stuff or what to do. I'm not trying any of that stuff. My vlog is just to show you guys what I'm going through personally. And like I always say on my vlog, your mileage may vary because you're a different person and we're all on a spectrum. We're all differently, right? We're all different, right? We're all different, right? So a drug may affect one person one way and it may affect another person another way, right? So I had some side effects. Definitely not the worst side effects that I've ever heard of using this drug, but some side effects nonetheless. I've talked about those at length in some of my previous videos, so we're really not going to get into it on this one. On this one, I kind of wanted to go back and tell you what my channel is all about, really, and what I'm doing and what I personally took, just so you know, so there's no misunderstandings, right? But let's get on with my vlog first. So just a short recap. I started out 250 pounds. I didn't feel good at all. I apparently had diabetes for a while, and then my doctor found out when my foot started tingling. So diabetes started affecting me physically. It was getting to me, and I didn't start my diabetes treatment early enough to prevent some of the effects of the diabetes, like neuropathy. I started out 250 pounds. I lost a bunch of weight on my own, and as I was losing weight, and then I hit a plateau right around 190 pounds. I couldn't lose another pound no matter what I tried, and if I tried to do extreme stuff, like the extreme dieting stuff, I'd lose 5 pounds, and then I'd get tired of that diet, and I'd gain 10 pounds, right? Lose 5, gain 10. I was doing that whole yo-yo thing that so many people are familiar with. And my doctor called me one day and she said, Ben, your blood test came back. You've got diabetes. Your A1C is 10.6. I'm going to put you on, something. Do you want to go on a weekly injection or a daily pill? And I had taken the metformin before and it really messed with my guts. I couldn't be more than 5 minutes away from a bathroom, and 5 minutes maybe giving it a little, maybe 3 would be a better thing to say. I couldn't be very far from a bathroom being on that stuff. So I opted immediately for the unknown. I didn't even know what it was. Mounjaro, once a week injection. Started taking that at 190 pounds. My A1C was 10.6 and my blood sugar readings were 474, I believe, back then. 474. So 3 months later, my A1C had dropped from 10.6 to 5.4. My weight had dropped from 190 pounds to 147 pounds. And it was at that point that I decided maybe this is the point that I can come off the drug and maintain my weight and my blood sugar on my own now through diet and exercise. I've been told that there are people out there that have done it, and I thought that if there are people out there that have done it, and I know not everybody's going to be capable of doing it. We're all on a spectrum. Some people are going to be capable of actually getting that done, but you'll never know unless you try. So I wanted to try. As it turns out, I've been off the Mounjaro now for 8 or 9 months, right? I'm going to have to go back and look to see the exact time, right? I have to give you guys an exact time because I get called out on this kind of stuff. It's been a while, let's put it that way, and I've been maintaining my blood sugar and my weight through diet and exercise. And really, when I say exercise, I'm not going out there pumping iron and running a marathon, right? I'm just doing my normal stuff, and I'm just taking, 30, 45 minutes 3 times a week to make sure that I get my steps in, right? Now, there are times that I've replaced my steps, like when my wife and I went to the, it was an RV expo and boat show and all kinds of stuff up in Tulsa. We went up there and walked around all day long, right? I probably got more steps that day than I do in 2 weeks. And that was an exercise day, so I decided to forego the walk. Common sense stuff, just like our country's getting back to these days, it seems like. And that's good stuff. So the vlog started because I'm the kind of guy that if I'm not being watched right, I'm going to go back to my old ways. I've done it a billion times, right? And I thought this is one thing that I can do. And I did this video for a couple reasons, right? I wanted to keep myself honest, and I figured if I had a couple people watching me, they could say in the comments, you're not being honest. Like this guy, Steve, did last week. He's like, you're not being right. You're sharing information that's not the right information. And I promised him I'm going to be more vague when I come to saying like brand names and stuff, because it really does, people don't like that stuff at all when you mix and match them. And I understand why, I get it, but I do in my head, right? Because it feels like they're for the same thing. Like Ozempic, I know it's a semi-glutide, right? And I know Mounjaro is a polypeptide, right? So there's differences, but basically they both do the same thing. And Mounjaro will tell you right on the label, this is not a weight loss medication, right? It's not. It's a diabetes medication. And then on the Zepbound label, it says, this is not a diabetes medication, this is a weight loss medication. And those two medications are the same exact medication. Unbelievable. It's like, right, like an aspirin, right? You can take an aspirin for a headache, right? And you can take it for a backache, or you can take it for, to thin your blood for your heart, right? They don't call it three different things. They just call it an aspirin, right? So I don't understand why Mounjaro couldn't get away with treating diabetes and weight. I don't understand why, but, I guess there's reasons, there's legal stuff. And, I'm not a lawyer either. I'm not a doctor. I said that last video, and I'm also not a lawyer, so I'm not going to get into that at all either. But here he goes. Okay. So this is this week's vlog, right? So last week I weighed 161.8 pounds, right? This major part of my vlog is my weight. 161.8 pounds, because my weight really has a direct correlation to my diabetes. The more I weighed, the more diabetic I was. That is, the higher my blood sugar was, right? Now that I've lost the weight, my liver is having an easier time. My body is having an easier time processing, right? Everything. When I was overweight and I was eating all those carbs and the sugar, it was overwhelmed. Now that I've lost the weight, I've gotten down to a healthy weight, and I've been eating, watching what I eat, and eating healthy only, and doing a lot of walking and stuff. I'm way healthier now, and my body is processing, right, the sugars way better than it used to. Therefore, I don't have to be on the medication. So when I say that I'm doing it through diet and exercise, that's what I mean, right? I'm not on a medication. I'm doing it through diet and exercise. But don't be discouraged if you can't do it through diet and exercise. Now, keep in mind, you won't know unless you try, but don't be discouraged if you can't, because there's a lot of people that can't, you guys. I keep saying there's a spectrum, right? We're all on a spectrum. I'm over here. It works for me, diet and exercise. You may be over here. Nothing may work for you. The medication may barely work for you, and that is the case in many people, right? So when I say we're all different, we're all different, and this is my vlog, and these are my experiences. Your mileage may vary greatly, right? Could vary greatly. Some people that take this stuff never get any side effects whatsoever. I find that hard to believe, because I had all the common ones, to one degree or another. You can see all that stuff in my past vlogs. See how I handled it, from the constipation to the nausea in the morning. I had it all, but not to any great degree. Some people had it so bad they couldn't get out of bed. They were commenting in my comments. They're like, is this normal? Why, the day after I take my shot, I can't get out of bed, and then finally 2 days after no, that's not normal. Anything like that, you need to talk to your doctor about. Anything. Even if it's on the label, you need to let your doctor know what's happening, right? Keep your doctor informed. It's really important, right? And don't be afraid your doctor's going to make you come off the medication. If your doctor makes you come off the medication, there's probably a good reason for that, right? You're better off being alive than skinny, or not diabetic, right? You can take another medication for diabetes if that's the case. I'm on my soapbox again, and again, we're here to talk about my vlog. 161.8 last week was my weight. I'm trying to be between 155 and 165, right? So, and I've been maintaining that now for months and months and months and months and months. So, so far so good. 161.8 last week. We're going to find out in 1 second what it is this week. But I also wanted to talk about my blood sugar, because Mounjaro is a diabetes medication. Not only helped me lose weight, which helped with my diabetes, it also dropped my blood sugar. But before I weigh, let's talk about my blood sugar, because that's really the reason that I started taking Mounjaro in the first place. My blood sugar last week was 116. Now remember, when I first started taking Mounjaro, when my doctor said I needed it, my blood sugar was 474. This is 8 or 9 months after coming off Mounjaro. Diet and exercise, my blood sugar last week on an average for the week was 116. This week, 118. So the blood sugar is looking awful good. And you guys, finally this vlog, get to see me in big boy pants because I'm not wearing my PJs today. I almost forgot to do this vlog, so you're catching me all dressed up, ready to go to work out in my shop. Anyway, let's see what the weight is this week. Last week, 161.8. I'm hoping for something similar this week. 163 on the nose. Okay, 163. That's pretty good because I'm still in my 155 to 165 goal weight that I'm looking for, but I'm also inching up. Last week I was at 161.8. So like 1.2 pound gain. That's not extreme, and it could be water weight, but it is something I'm going to keep an eye on this week. I'm going to watch what I eat and make sure I don't do anything extreme, right? And I don't do anything extreme anyway. I've been eating pretty good. But, you know, once in a while, my wife go out to restaurants, and you can't always eat great when you go to a restaurant because you don't always have the choice of what restaurant you go to, right? So we went to Chili's last night, and I had the quesadillas. I ate probably a quarter of them because of the portions. For me, that would make 4 meals. I'm not even lying about that. The one dinner that they serve me will be 4 dinners for me. So if they last that long in the refrigerator, I got 4 meals ahead of me. The portions are just massive. Now, before I started all this stuff, and when I weighed 190, I would have eaten that, an appetizer, a salad, and probably had a Coke as well. No way I can even touch that now. So it was delicious, but I couldn't eat much of it, and there's processed food in that restaurant food, so won't be eating restaurant food probably the rest of the week now. So it was a nice little treat not having to do anything or cook or anything. And, you know, we're not going to stop going out, right? We're not going to stop living. You know, I'm losing weight for a reason. I want to be seen out. I want people to see the new me, right? I used to be embarrassed to go out. I used to be embarrassed to go into places like Walmart and go grocery shopping or something. I just had this thing about being a bigger guy, about being fat and how everybody viewed me, right? I know nobody cared. Everybody looked at me and they said, oh, there goes another fat guy in Walmart. Hey, that's pretty rare. It's not, you know, it's not. But I was just another guy like that, right? I shouldn't have felt that way, but I did. And I think that because I felt that way, it helped me motivate into sticking with it and getting healthy. And I'm so glad that I did. And I'm glad that that feeling is out there that, man, I should feel guilty about not being in the best of health. And it's not just about me, right? I didn't realize this till I had grandkids. I realized that I want to live, right? So now's the time to start taking care of myself. Guys, I turned 60 last week, so thank you for the birthday wishes in this video. You can comment below birthday wishes. I'd love it. Say happy birthday. Just joking. You don't have to. It was last week. Anyway, I'm 60 though, right? And it took me this long in life, up to 59, to realize, man, I want to live, right? I want to live as long as possible. Before I didn't even think about it, right? I just wanted to look good. Now I want to live. Anyway, you guys, I've been long-winded, and I'm sorry. I'll see you next week.